Welcome back. You're enjoying the beautiful music of Alif Laila, the sitarist. I forgot to tell you in the beginning that Alif Laila has established her own sitar training school in Bethesda in the USA. That was established sometime in 2015.
Yes,
and the
February.
name is
Sitar Niketan.
So if at all you are interested in learning sitar, that's the place to go to. I'm buying my ticket soon. On a serious note, Alif, the language of words, I read somewhere, these are not my words, the language of words belong to the world of man and the language of music to the world of nature. Because you were mentioning that music is so close to nature.
Yes.
And there are so many ragas really related to the hours of the day and hours of the night. And then again, the seasons of the year.
Yes.
Another thing I wanted to ask you about is, like many other branches of learning, classical music too has a lot to do with different ideas, traditions, customs, and legends, isn't it? And that is, you suggested that has given to the development and creation and the birth of gharanas.
Yes.
Just a few words about gharanas, then you can enthrall our audience and the listeners and me as well included with your fine music.
It's a very vast subject, and I'll try to
A sentence or two,
compile it into a few sentences. Like you said, in the beginning, like there were different regions of India, and of course, different cultures have come down and fused and enriched a beautiful tapestry, and slowly the classical music developed through many, many cultures and ways. So there are in different regions, different types of styles or techniques developed.
Would you call it interpretation?
I would say each culture, as you know, in India, we were talking about just before the program that every 200 square miles has a different culture, different outlook, different language. So all of these have actually enriched the Indian classical music so much that different types of Indian classical music has developed. So those have been labeled as gharanas, and experts, composers, thinkers, so everybody has given their genuine selves to that development of, and it has become so beautiful. And Sanjay and I were talking about it, that the pure gharanas, before the internet was not there, there was no digital recording, people were sharing less, it was very limited. So now the gharanas are also exchanging ideas. So we were talking that it is important actually to preserve gharanas. Very important, as important as it is to develop new things. But forgetting the roots is actually quite dangerous. We have seen that in many cultures in many forms. So in music, it is very important to preserve gharanas, styles that have developed.
And the pure style.
And the pure style and the techniques. Each gharana is based on very scientific techniques of voice modulation, of string techniques. And it is very scientific, but it is the expression of...
But all this is learned from the ustad, isn't it? See,
it has developed through ages. No written, yes, it is all, from
be a disciple.
Verbal kind of a disciple. It was a very one-to-one basis and very human contact. Again, all of that is in the process of change, because now there are digital lessons, there are Skype lessons, there are digitally we are doing without human contact. So the whole culture is in a transition, but in the midst of all of this, still the purity actually remains the best.
Great.
There is no, Do
you think it's good for music?
It is good, and you can say it, I won't say it is bad, because it is good to spread it more. So Indian classical music now has reached corners of the world which it is unthinkable. And tabla and sitar are so popular. It is really a joy that the modern techniques have actually helped to enhance.
Right.
But with every enhancement, there's a borderline of danger of losing the genuine, genuinity or the human touch. So we must always remember that a real teacher is much better than a digital teacher. I believe that in that absolutely firmly.
You have scales and rogs, and I'm always intrigued by so many names. You know, how do really musicians get to grips with these? You see, you have Kalavati and Daish and Tilanga and Kamach, and this is scale and that is scale. And I was intrigued by a particular name, Ramkali.
Oh, yes.
It's a Sampuran rag of the
Sampurna,
Bhairan
of the Bhairo.
its principal note is Pa and the harmonic note is Sa. It's early morning rag.
So when we are trained, and that's why this is exactly the reason why there are now thousands and thousands of Indian classical musicians. Because the devotion and the time that you have to give, it is a matter of a lifetime commitment. A lot of times one starts, but one is taken away with more practical needs, that if you have a full-time job, you're, so this is the reason you have to, it's like a meditation, but you can always balance, you can always grow at your own pace. I always recommend to all my students that everybody doesn't have to reach the moon, but the process itself is a very beautiful way to enrich yourself, to clean yourself, to heal.
Right.
So, like you said, everything is taught in the elementary level in a very structured way, but the structure, you can lead the structure when you know it very well. It's almost like when you know the rules very well, only then you can develop something unique of your own and you can evolve as a real artist. So that is a process that everybody goes in different levels.
How long does it take to become or learn classical music?
This is what you're talking. It's a lifetime. It takes a lifetime.
It's like how long is a string?
How long is the endless
Piece
string?
of string.
Yeah, there is no time limit. If you want to be a performer, you have to be under the guidance of a guru, regularly devoting full time, at least 10 to 12 years. That is regularly 8 hours a day. So if you take that as a comparison, it's a long time, because if you are giving 2 hours a day, so that will take me 2 lifetimes.
Then you are allowed to perform in public.
Yes, in the old times, it was only when the guru would give permission that you would be able,
that was sensible, understandable, isn't it? Because then
at
the guru
time
would think that yes, he is capable of enthralling people, amusing people.
It's absolutely very, very, very sensible.
Right, let's hear some more of your beautiful play rather than my stupid questions.
No, not at all. We enjoy talking to you. It is a chance to share with everyone.
Thank you.
So the last piece will be on Rag Kamaj.
Right.
Kamaj has enthralled many folk melodies, and so in the beginning I'll play a traditional Kamaj composition, again composed by Ustad Alauddin Khan Sahab in the Maihar Gharana style, and I will switch to a folk baul based song of Tagore.
Right. You've got the time. I will beg leave of our viewers and leave the stage for Alif, Laila and Sanjay Jharla on tabla, and enjoy the music. See you again next week, same time, same channel.